So why did I build Tech Sales Academy? So 3 main reasons, right? Number 1, I love to teach and help people. Right? My philosophy when I was selling tech was I love to help people by solving their problems with technology. Right? That's how I found out that I was good at technology sales, not because I was necessarily the best salesperson, but I was the most helpful, and I actually just genuinely liked solving people's problems. Like I said, it's very particular, that sentence. I love to help people, first and foremost. I love to solve their problems. I love being a problem solver, a bit of a human nerd. When I say human nerd, I mean I'm a nerd of like social sciences and sociology and people side of stuff. That's why I've built a course that's focused on people and soft skills. And then with technology, I'm not necessarily great with tech. I'm okay at it. I've always been around devices and consoles and games and stuff my entire life, but I'm not technical at all, nor do I pretend to be. I just realized that I was interested in technology and was able to explain it to people really well. So that guiding philosophy of loving to help people by solving their problems with technology, through my mentoring, through developing talent, through taking people under my wing, I've come to realize that this is what energizes me. This is what gives me passion. This is what I love to do, and would do it basically for free if I could, but your boy's got to eat. So that's the first thing. This is what I'm passionate about: development, mentoring. That's just what I love to do. Number 2 is I was sick of not seeing a good technology sales education out there, because I've been looking for it for 10 years. So I got my start in B2C sales at about 2013, 2012, and that was fine. Retail sales is relatively easy. You just sort of find out what customers want, point them in the right direction, etc. But when I made the transition to B2B, after being a pretty hotshot B2C salesperson, I sucked. I completely stunk at it. I broke down in my first B2B sales role. No joke. I broke down after like 6 weeks of being in the role, because I just felt so unsupported, and there was no management, there was no training. They just gave me, a shitty old cold call list, an intranet page of the products I'm supposed to sell, and that's it. Go make your number, right? Didn't know anything about business, didn't know anything about technology, the connectivity, the solutions I was selling, didn't know a damn thing. So since then, I have been relentlessly pursuing getting good at this, because I knew that I was great at it, but I've been constantly searching for a great technology education. And once you get into the corporate world, you realize the training stinks. It's irrelevant. They do bring, corporate trainings in, most of it's horseshit. And yeah, I just got sick of not having this fundamental education. And it's taken me a journey over the last 3 to 5 years, and particularly the last 24 months, to realize that there is no fundamental education for what we do. And that's because the tech sales industry, or the tech industry rather, is only about 30 years old. It can be traced back to 1995, which is when the start of the dot-com boom sort of started. So you might think of tech of like Apple and IBM and Microsoft in like the 70s and 80s, but when it came to B2B tech sales, everything that's taken over the planet and society now today, it's mostly B2B infrastructure. All of that stuff has come in the last 30 years. It's been an absolute explosion. And because of this explosion and all the big tech companies are out there trying to make their money, there's no institution for what we really do. Organizations have been trying to hire talent just from salespeople and just trying to find the traits of a good salesperson, or people that they can develop and figure it the hell out. And as a result, every tech seller I know goes through this insane trial by fire to figure this role out. And you're overwhelmed and you're intimidated and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And everyone goes through that. Everyone goes through that. I did it. Everyone I've talked to does it. It just is what it is, right? One of the most dangerous sentences in human vocabulary is, this is the way we've just always done things, right? Means that it is ripe for disruption, something new, something different. So yeah, for years of searching for this course, I never saw it. So I was like, I'm so passionate about developing salespeople, and there's so much more to tech sales than any university degree can give you, if I had to start this journey again to go from zero to becoming a top 1% tech seller, what would I want to learn? What do I think is important for me to teach people? What would I have loved to have gotten early in the game to get me to where I've been faster? And that's the underlying theory behind Tech Sales Academy and the signature course Tech Sales OS, right? Is how can I create the fundamental education to create great technology sellers? So that's what I've been building. The first version of Tech Sales OS, which is out right now, that is that. It is based on years of research and putting together a body of work based on what I think is relevant. And then that's going to expand. And I will be doing lots of product updates and a roadmap further down the line. Okay. But yeah, I'm instead of letting some other fucking idiot make this, right, and make it boring and corporate and bullshit, right? Just another dry, this is how you sell. Fuck that shit, man. We live in the real world now. You're not going to listen to that. You're not going to take it in. One of the beauties of what I've got being on the outside of corporate now is I can say things the way that they should be said. I can be real about this shit. And I don't mind being real about this because I don't really care about corporate. I don't want to be in the machine ever again, right? I want to be real with people, and so does everyone else. Which takes me to my third point. The third reason why I built Tech Sales Academy is because I wanted my freedom. I got made redundant in 2021 to less than 12 months after I became a top 1% performer at Telstra Enterprise, where I was an account executive for years in the mid-market and a little bit of larger accounts as well. And that devastated me because I was absolutely killing it in the business. I went from the zilch that cried, 4-5 years previous to that, to being a top 1% seller. I hadn't missed my number my entire B2B career since then. I was on top of the world, and a lot of my identity was wrapped up in being part of Telstra. So when I got made redundant, it was brutal. And I swore to myself that I would never let another corporation, I would never trust them with my well-being, my identity ever again. So since that time, almost 3 years now, just over 3 years now, I've been building my freedom. And had the idea for Tech Sales Academy probably shortly after I got made redundant, because again, I was sort of soul searching during a pretty dark time about like, what do I want to do next? What could I do to get out of the machine for good? And yeah, I realized my passion for coaching. I was coaching enterprise sales for free inside Telstra Enterprise in my last year, and I was pretty good at it. And I've been coaching for free in various roles basically since I started tech sales. So I realized that I had that talent for it. And yeah, I just put together this body of work that I thought would be useful because again, I'd been in the game almost 10 years and still not had found anything that was worthwhile. So yeah, for me, by building this, I'm building my freedom, doing what I'm passionate about. Hopefully you are a part of that as well. Which might bear a bit of a question now because I'm teaching you guys how to sell tech and you are very much going into the corporate world. And you might go, hey, isn't that a little bit hypocritical for me to get out but then to encourage and teach you to get into the corporate world and learn to sell? And the answer is no, because you need to do a few years in the corporate world, especially in tech sales, to get the amount of experience that's necessary to potentially find freedom. Right? And we'll be talking about that a lot more further down in the course, in the curriculum. But there, in this recent time that I've had while I've been working for myself, I've found that there's a huge potential market to get into startups and tech companies that, a new generation, have got a bit of soul, a bit of integrity, that are run by real people. It's really cool. And that could be the next step for you, right? Is that I'm here to give you the tools, skills, and insights to help enable wherever you want to go in your technology sales career. So I do encourage you get into the corporate world and become an account executive, account manager, BDM, whatever you want to do. Get the reps, get the experience, become, that small business, build that personal brand and understand the game of tech sales and understand how to do that job well and be really self-sufficient. And then you can take those skills to any organization once you've got great numbers and you've got your systems down pat. Because then you can go to a startup, you could go to another organization that gives you, better paying conditions and it's probably more aligned with your values, right? So it's about these skills that I'm teaching you are life skills to give you optionality. All right? And I will be talking in the next video about what to expect in the first couple of years. So yeah, that is why I built Tech Sales Academy. It's a labor of love to teach the next generation. And yeah, I'm glad that you're a part of it. And I think that's all I got on that. That's all I got on that. So see you in the next video.